been like when I do want to make a book. So what would be the first steps to start on publishing?
Well, if you already have something written and first of all, good morning, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm so super
I know.
distracted, like still trying to answer emails and I'm not a good multitasker, so I apologize. But first of all, good morning. And secondly, if you already have something written that you're ready to publish, like that is more than half the battle right there. And the biggest decision that you have to make, and the question that people ask me most is, how do I get it published? And what you want to decide is, do you want to go through a publishing house and have someone publish your book for you? Or do you want to self-publish? And a lot of people don't know that you can self-publish, because if you're going through a publishing house, then that means you are either paying someone to publish your book. Like I can publish someone's book. I have my own publishing house. And so someone would pay me and I would get their book published and I would get it on Amazon and all the things. Or a publishing house could pay you if they like your book enough and say, hey, we want to publish your book. But you can also do it yourself, which is what I did.
Okay, so publishing a book. Okay, have somebody do it or you do it. Like, okay, let's take it a step back a little. What is publishing a book? What does that mean? Like,
publishing a book means that you have your book copyrighted, that you have your ISBN number, and that your book is for sale. And so the book is published, which means you can sell it and get a profit off of that book. Your book has its own identification code with a barcode on it, and your book is actually it's considered a literary project. So, your book can be found in libraries. And so it's almost like licensing your book, making your book legit. So it's no longer anything just for your own personal. It's actually a published book that will be in the archives forever and ever, as this is a published book, like the same as, any other book that's on the shelf.
Okay. And they said once it has that ISBN number, it'll never expire. And
no, and that's the thing too. There are several ways to get your ISBN number depending on how you go about publishing, where you can either pay for your ISBN, but there's a lot of self-publishing companies out there that I want to share with y'all where you can get your ISBN number for free. And your ISBN number is specific. It's almost like a social security number for that book.
Okay.
And so it's specific for that book, but you can either pay for them or you can get them for free, depending on what you're trying to do and what publishing company you go with.
Okay, so like myself, okay, once again, well, it's not like in order or anything like that. It's just like a book of thoughts, I guess. Okay. So do I need to take it before getting published? Like, well, is there a step before that? Do I need to take it to I don't know, like a writer to put it together for me, or like, I don't know.
So there are so many different things. So let's say, for instance, with your journal, because you can also have ghostwriters, right? So there are people who will just sit down and basically interview you or just, have a conversation with you about whatever it is. So whether it's a book about your life, if it is just your thoughts, whatever it is, you can hire a ghostwriter who will just sit down and talk to you and put whatever you're saying into print. They'll write it for you based on what you said, or you can write it yourself. And so you never have to have anybody write it for you, but you can have someone edit the book for you. So if you're not real confident in your grammatical skills, or whatever, you can always hire an editor. And again, y'all know Fiverr is my place. I hope y'all been using Fiverr. Miss T, have you used Fiverr for anything yet?
Girl, I've been on the go. Like, it was just, Savannah was like, go, go, go. But now that I'm home, I'm like, I have to sit down and get things together. But it is on the to-do list.
Yeah, I mean, Fiverr is like just a wealth of resources. So you can find an editor on Fiverr. You can find an illustrator on Fiverr. You can find a formatter on Fiverr. So say, for instance, if you sit down and you just type up your book in a Word document and all you have is a bunch of thoughts, and this is what I want my book to be about, you can find an editor on Fiverr who you can just send that to, and they'll go through it and make sure that everything is correct, that all of your tenses are correct, that all of your grammar's correct, that everything flows and makes sense. And so you don't have to get anybody to write it for you, but you definitely, I say that everyone, even though I'm a professional writer, I write a news column for a local newspaper here every month, but I still have everything I do edited. Like I went to school for journalism and communications, but I still get everything I do that's going to be published. I get it all edited.
Now, see, I will take that back. I did kind of like look on YouTube for like how to buy off of Fiverr. Like, I want somebody to like do some work for me, and I looked at YouTube, and I was finding stuff on how to make money off of Fiverr, like being on the other end, the person selling. I was like, I'm trying to figure out how to purchase stuff off of Fiverr, so I'm still working with that. Rambo says Fiverr took his money for his logo.
Really, I've been using Fiverr for years. I've never had any issue with Fiverr. And the thing about Fiverr is, Rambo, is you can always file a complaint because they are, bound by Fiverr. So if you have any issue and you didn't get the work done, they're almost like, PayPal and Amazon, where you can call and they'll work anything out. Because the only issue I ever had with Fiverr is someone just took long. And okay, you just make them pay. Yeah, you do have to pay for it. You do have to pay for it. It's not Freevr, it's Fiverr.
I thought he was about to say like $500 or something, like a great sum of money.
Yeah, no, I mean, their minimum price for any job is $5. That's where the name Fiverr came from. And I have had things done where they've created flyers for me and stuff for as little as $5, but you literally can find anything on Fiverr, and you can work on Fiverr. I'm trying to get a deal with Fiverr now to do coaching on Fiverr where people can just hire me like for one session.
Yeah, so I am trying to learn how to be on the other end of like purchasing, but like I said, when I've been looking on YouTube, the couple of times I have, it's like, here's how to make money off Fiverr. I don't want to make money. I want to give y'all my work.
Right. Yeah. Well, you just go to Fiverr just like you do any other type of search thing. And so you just go to Fiverr and just put in the search bar, book editor, book formatter, logo creator, and it'll just come up, and then there'll be samples of their work. And then you can also read the reviews. And I say always get somebody with 5 stars and somebody who will give you revisions.
I went Premier price. These was whole. A hole in the pocket, but it was worth it. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, and again, you can find people from as little as $5, but there's also, more expensive as well. But I've never paid any more than $200 for anything. But what I paid the $200 for, it was worth it.
Okay. So the recommendations for Fiverr is preferably like 4 or 5 stars, nothing like 2 or 3.
No, 4 or 5 stars. And then you want them to have several reviews that you can actually read, what the people's experience was with them, and also be able to see several samples of their work. And I'm telling you, you can do everything. You can get your book cover designed on Fiverr. You can get it edited on Fiverr. I mean, you can even find a ghostwriter on Fiverr if you literally do not want to write it at all and you just want to tell somebody what it is you want to write. But you also have to think too that your book can be all different things. Like your book doesn't have to be this story like Once Upon a Time from beginning to end. It can be a journal. It can be, I mean, there are so many ways to make money from copy. I mean, journals are big now where all you literally have to do is write one quote per page, and the rest of it could just be lines for somebody else to fill it in. And you can sell that on Amazon for $10, $15.
Okay. Let me see. Sammy Joe. Sarah's Happy Hives is downloading a video. So does anybody in here have any type of questions to know about publishing a book? I'm trying to think. So like you said, I could just like take a quote that I just came up with or something like that or thought of, and then just put on a page and then just have somebody like a journal style and just have somebody write on with the plain lines. Okay.
Yep. You can do daily quotes, thoughts of the day. You can do daily affirmations. For me, it's just, again, I'm always thinking about how you can diversify your business. So whatever you're doing, you just think of a way that you can have a product. Like it can be more than just t-shirts and cups and hats, just anything. Like look at the things that you buy. So, if you buy journals, if you buy calendars, you can have a Miss T with the T calendar, that you sell at the end of the year, and it's just different pictures and shots of things that you did in the previous year with just a quote. All of those kind of things still are considered published, and that's yours, and you can sell that either on your website, or you can sell it, like you can find my book on walmart.com, target.com, barnesandnobles.com. And so it just literally expands you worldwide. My book has been bought in China. My book's been bought in the UK because it's out there. And so that's just passive income, literally making money while you sleep.
Okay. Thank you, man. It is like, yeah, I'm starting to realize that the more things that I do, like my entrepreneurial journey, and I wake up like, oh, somebody bought something. Okay. But anywho, we got a couple questions in here. Crooked Pete says, how do I get an ISBN? And then Karen Sawyer is saying that she's been using Fiverr for years, but I'm leery about hiring an editor to edit my children's book. What if they steal my book?
Well, that's the thing. That's the beauty of using Fiverr, right? So once it's on Fiverr and you've uploaded it to Fiverr, then Fiverr sees that that's your work, and it's time stamped and everything on the day that you uploaded it. So every book, well, no, that's not true. My first book, I did not get edited through Fiverr, but my second and third book, I had edited through Fiverr. And once you put it in there, then it's under you, and that is your work. And then you can always still do the poor man's copyright, where you just print out your manuscript and mail it to yourself. So I don't feel like there's any way for them to steal it, because you uploading it and sending it to them shows where the exchange was you giving it to them. So that was the thing. And then what was the other question? Oh, to edit it. Yeah, that was the same question. And the ISBN, there's several ways you can actually just go on a website, and I believe it's ISBN.com, and buy ISBNs. You don't already have to have a book to buy ISBNs. But what I suggest is, if you're going to do self-publishing, you go to, my favorite is lulu.com, and it's LULU.com. So just like the Lululemon workout clothes, it's LULU.com. They will give you your ISBN for free. They will upload your book for free. They will distribute your book to a bunch of different platforms for free. Like lulu.com is a one-stop shop, and they have tons. They upload to YouTube almost daily. And so it's just Lulu Publishing on YouTube, and they will give you the step-by-step, and you can get everything. Like once your book is written and formatted, Lulu will do everything for you. They'll print it for you. They'll distribute it for you. Like, they're definitely a publishing one-stop shop for self-publishers.
Okay. Jamia said, I'm working with my adult novel, but it's not broken up into chapters yet. Would my editor help do that?
Yes. And you just have to make sure when you're choosing your editor that you're real specific on everything you need. So you can find editors who are only going to edit for grammatical errors and to make sure that you're in the proper tense, or a complete editor. So when you're looking on Fiverr or wherever you choose, you just want to make sure that you have that conversation of exactly what you need. But yeah, they can definitely do all that. I mean, there's been people who just literally just write, and they just have pages and pages, and they go to an editor to put it together.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so the editor helps you put the book together, and then the publishers, they give you you said it's two types, right? The ones that you could pay somebody, or you can do it yourself.
Right. So you can self-publish, which that's what I've done. I've self-published all my books. And after my first book, I became my own publishing house where I can publish other people's books, and they would be under Running for Your Life. So, oh, that's my sister. Yeah. Bowker ISBN. Yeah. You can go to Bowker. I think that's where she went through for her ISBN. So, hey, Margot, good morning. And so you can definitely, go there and buy, like they sell ISBNs in bulk almost, where if you know you're going to write a lot of books, you can buy 10 ISBNs for them. So that's the route she went. I got my ISBNs for free from lulu.com.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, sis. Appreciate it. Let's see. Sammy Joe saying hi, speaking. Good morning, TZ. Okay, right, speaking.
I see Janet had a question about Stae. If we look on Fiverr for someone to edit, what qualification should we look for? like I said, my main thing with qualifications is you want somebody with 4 stars and above. I usually shoot for 5 stars, but for instance, if they have 4 stars, I always read the reviews because sometimes people rate people low and it really wasn't their fault. You know what I mean? So they'll just put something on there and it's kind of silly. So I really pay attention to the reviews, and they have different rankings on Fiverr as well, where some of them will be like considered, I can't remember the name of it, but they'll put them in a certain class where you know that they've done work for Fiverr a lot. And so you just want to make sure, like, I wouldn't ever deal with anyone with under 4 stars. I would never deal with anyone with under, 4 or 5 reviews. And then you always want to make sure that whoever you're dealing with has the reviews and that they're willing to do revisions. That's the key right there. And it will let you know in the they're called gigs. So in the gig description, it will let you know whether or not they do reviews. And then most of them are going to have different levels. Like you can buy one that's really inexpensive, then they have their middle level, and then they have their higher one, and each one is going to give you more. But revisions is key. You don't want to buy a gig that doesn't give you any revisions or only gives you one revision, because that means if they do something and you want to change it or you don't like it, you're just stuck with it. So I look for unlimited revisions if I can find it. But you at least want somebody that's going to give you at least 3 revisions so y'all can go back and forth. Because even though somebody is good, you still can, want to change something. You might have thought about something after the fact. So revisions are just good because you want to be able to work with them like a team. You don't want it to be one and done.
Okay. And Karen Sawyer said, what are your ideas about a ghostwriter? Sorry.
Well, my ideas on ghostwriter is this. I personally would not, as much as I talk about Fiverr, I would not hire a ghostwriter from Fiverr. Now, that's the one thing I would say. I have a friend personally who is a ghostwriter, and I would deal with somebody like that because I can actually sit down and have a face-to-face conversation. I want somebody, if I'm going to do a ghostwriter, I want them to at least know me a little bit. I don't want them ghostwriting just based on something that I send them. And so that's just my opinion. I believe that ghostwriting has its place. I just have one of my clients, my coaching clients, that I just referred to a ghostwriter because she has a wonderful idea, but just does not know how to get it on paper. But my opinion on ghostwriters is you definitely want to vet them. You want to sit down with them. You want to interview several people, or if it's someone you already have a relationship with who you trust, because this person is literally taking your thoughts and ideas and putting them on paper the way that they hear it and perceive it. So you want it to be somebody that you can have a working face-to-face relationship with, in my opinion.
Okay. And with your first book, did you make your own cover and graphics, or did you outsource it?
Fiverr. I went to Fiverr. I did. I mean, I went, and there's other places other than Fiverr that I've used, but Fiverr has just been my favorite. It just, they just do a good job. My first book, they ended up giving me 4 different book covers to choose from, and I liked them all, to the point where I ended up just doing a contest with my Lifer tribe where I just had them pick which cover because I liked all of them.
Okay. Let's see.
Hey, Nikki.
And see, when they had their last gig, I wanted someone who was pretty active on Fiverr.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You can check and see like when the last time was they worked with somebody. So if they haven't done anything since 2020, then maybe you don't want to deal with them because they're not really active. And so, but that's the thing. Fiverr is really good at, like, you see all of their information. You can see their reviews. You can see, when they last worked with somebody. You can see examples of what they've done for other people. So that's why I like them, because you get a wealth of information. And then again, like I said, most of them are going to have several different packages that you can choose from.
Okay. Let me see. Welcome in, CCC and OCD. Yeah. Geez, sorry, it's jumping. I want to let me click on that from Mr. Loris. There we go.
Just a lifer. That's so funny. Crooked Peach. Lifer is my tribe. So my thing is running for your life, LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. That's actually the title of my first book. And so my tribe is my lifer tribe.
Dolores said, yeah, I just helped someone with their book covers. I just didn't know if going professional, I think.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing, Dolores. I mean, you could be on Fiverr, getting jobs and gigs, and it's the thing is just start. Just start. I mean, put something out there, and maybe you want to charge a smaller price in the beginning if you're not, really super confident about the professional part of it. But I'm sure the work is awesome. And Fiverr is a great way to start getting your work out there.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind working with you. We can discuss. I have another book coming out. So, I'm not married to the person that I've used in the past. So maybe we can do something together, Dolores.
Okay. Dolores does a lot of stuff. She is very talented. I can see her making a career out of that, like getting paid.
Yeah. So we can definitely talk offline because I have another project coming up.
Okay. Why is it not letting me click what I want to click? There we go. How can you shop for a publishing house that may be interested in paying you?
Well, the thing is, it's just like when you are looking to collaborate and get sponsorships and paid, work on YouTube. You want to get your author's page together, which is pretty much like a one sheet, or, when we talked about a media kit before, where you want to have your headshot, as well as your bio, and then some bullet points about your writing style and what your writing is, as well as you're going to have your complete manuscript finished. I mean, unless you're able to just get an interview with someone at a publishing house who's just going to want to talk to you about your idea. But most of the time you need to have a completed manuscript, and you would just shop it out. You would just start emailing it, or actually snail mailing it to different publishing houses, and just hope that somebody picks it up. Another thing that you can do is, see if you can get radio interviews, news interviews, and see if anybody picks it up. It's a little more difficult because just imagine, just like with everything else, with people who are out here trying to sing and act and whatever, it's like a needle in a haystack. It's more about what you know, not who you know. So it's really being able to get in front of people. But you can start looking at different publishing houses, researching their genre, what kind of books they normally pick up. Try to get a phone call with somebody, but just sending it out there. And again, it's something I've done in the past, not with my book, but it sounds a little old school. But when I was first on this speaking scene, and I wanted to do transformational speaking, motivational speaking, I just started reaching out to different organizations and sending them my one sheet and what I had to offer. And I did get some calls, but it really is shopping your book and just sending it to as many people as you can. But the thing is, number one, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get rich off of a book. And I know I say that all the time, but that's why I'm so into multiple streams of income. Most people who get rich off of books, it's either books that were written long time ago and they're classics, or they're people who have already established some sort of celebrity and then they write a book, right? And so they already have their audience. So I would suggest you're going to make the most money, because if you get a publishing house, they're going to keep the majority of your money. Because they have to make something off of it, and books just aren't that expensive, right? So most books are going to be $20 or less. How many times can you split up that $20? You got to pay to get it printed. You got to pay the publishing company. So my thing is, just my honest opinion after all the research I did, is just to self-publish.
Okay. Thank you so much for all this information. Soul Sister, what's up, girl? Can you go over the steps of how to self-publish, please? And thank you.
Yes. So self-publishing, the first thing that you want to do is write your book, right? So once you write your book, once you get your book edited, once you get your book formatted, again, all of these things you can do on Fiverr. And there are great, I suggest, Look at every video you can on YouTube by Lulu Publishing, Lulu Publishing. And there's also another YouTube channel that helped me so much, which is called Book Launchers. So Book Launchers and Lulu Publishing will walk you through everything. But the short of it is get your book written, get it edited, get it published, get your cover design. Because in order to publish, you have to have a complete book, right? So once you get everything finished with your book, then you would go to either Amazon, which has, my sister published through Amazon. I published through Lulu. And you go to, so I'm going to talk about Lulu, but it's pretty much the same on Amazon. But they will have the format set up for you where you literally upload your book. You write, your short synopsis of your book. You get your ISBN number. It's going to walk you through step by step. You upload that book. They're going to take like 1 or 2 days to look over it. And then your book is live. Your book is published. Like it really is that easy. It's almost the same as uploading a YouTube video. It's that self-explanatory. But the most important, the publishing piece of it, y'all, is actually easy if you're going to use Lulu or if you're going to use Amazon. And then there's other ones out there as well. Those are just the ones that I'm most familiar with, and they're easy. And then they will distribute your book. So your book will show up on barnesandnoble.com and all of that. And that's really the way to do it. The hardest part is getting the actual book formatted, edited, getting your cover, all of that. And then you have to decide even, what size do you want your book to be? I always suggest that if you want your book to look like a novel and you want your book to have some substance to it, then you want to shoot for at least 50,000 words, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And if you type your book up in Word, it'll keep a count of the words and you just go for that count.
Okay. Well, welcome in, Lachey, everybody. And then OCD said, this is right on time. My daughter is currently in the process of writing a book. Welcome in, Tiny Twist. And then Dolores, where'd it go? I'm sorry, my side is just jumping. So welcome in. There it is. Does Amazon still do where they print to order for books?
Yes, and that's the good thing about it. And so does Lulu. And so both of those, they print to order. So you're not that's why it's free. You don't have to pay for anything up front. And then you decide how much your book costs. So say, for instance, if you have a book that is 52,000 words, which just looks like a standard, a novel, right? So you decide how much you want to charge for that book. So Lulu.com is only going to charge you to print the book. Most books are going to cost $6 or less to print. So if you are paying them to print, they're only going to print a book when somebody orders the book. So you don't have to buy. Like that's another thing. When you go through publishing houses, a lot of times they'll force you to buy 500 of your books up front because they don't know if they're going to sell them. But with the print to order, they only charge that, but you never have to pay, right? So say you have your book and you've decided that you're going to charge $25 for your book because it's up to you. With a publishing house, they decide how much your book is going to be. But when you self-publish, you decide you want to charge $25 for your book. All Lulu's going to charge you for is the printing. So I wrote a book. Now Miss T wants to order it. So Miss T orders it. She pays $25 for it. Lulu keeps that $5 for printing it, and then they send you the $20.
Okay.
So really, you're not even paying for it. You just work in how much the printing is and your price, and then they send it. Now, say if somebody buys your book from Barnes and Nobles. If they buy it from Barnes and Nobles, then Barnes and Nobles is going to want to cut. So Lulu's going to charge you $5 to print it. They're going to send it to Barnes and Nobles, and then Barnes and Nobles may charge you $3 to sell it for you, but then you still get the rest. So the way that you make the most money on your book is also to self-publish, because the only thing that you're going to be paying for is printing and distribution.
And that's very helpful because I can relate to that because with the merch, because they have all the resources and all the materials and the clothing and all that stuff, they keep the money. They give me a cut of it, but I don't get all the percentage. Let me see.
Yeah, so you literally get everything with this, because no matter what, you're always going to have to pay for printing unless you got a print and press in your house.
Right.
So if you're selling your books and you're paying $5 to print it, that's just the cost of doing business, but they're not really keeping a cut, you know what I mean? Because you decide how much that book is.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back, Passionately, my Alabama farm.
A
Great subject. I just need to finally finish a book.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to make time and time block it because it can be a tedious job. And then, of course, writer's block, and sometimes, you don't feel it. And so with both of my books, I ended up having to go away a couple of times and just dedicate like a full 3 days to just writing, because it is kind of difficult unless that's what you do full time. And even when you do it full time, your brain is not always feeling creative every single day.
I'm completely distracted thinking what I can sell on Fiverr.
Girl, we are not selling souls around here, Janet. That's going to be a hard no.
Demand post was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, and so you only have to pay. Now, what I do is I prefer people to buy books on my website because that's where I make the most money, because I don't have to pay Barnes and Nobles. I love having my book on Barnes and Nobles. It's a good selling tool. I like getting up in front of an audience of people and saying my books can be found in Target and Barnes and Nobles, because, to be quite honest, as a professional and entrepreneur, you want as much street cred as you can get. However, I love selling books off my website because I make the most money. And so and then I also charge more for signed copies of my book, right? Because that means I got to sign it and mail it out myself. So I usually keep about 100 books on hand myself that I take with me when I go to speaking engagements and things like that. And then, people can buy them online. But again, they're only printed when they're ordered. So you don't have to worry about paying for a bunch up front.
That's a good idea. Have 100 on hand, and I like the idea of having Barnes and Noble, Target and everything. Just more places for people, because everybody's not going to like go to the website. Everybody's right. Going to Barnes and Noble. It's just a good idea to be out there, get that street cred, like you said.
Exactly. And to me, for anybody who's thinking about writing a book, don't overthink it. And again, don't think that writing a book has to be a novel. It doesn't. You can make a book, just, a journal. You can make an affirmation. I have devotionals. The book I have coming up is actually my first novel type of book. My other books are all devotionals, workbooks, things like that. And what it does is, again, just like I said with social media and YouTube, it's an extension of your business. So whenever someone is looking for somebody to speak, I feel like if they have a choice between me and somebody else, and even though all things are equal, we're both dynamic speakers, my one leg up can be the fact that I have 4 books that I've published, so it just gives you, again, a little more street cred. And so to me, it's worth it. Even if you're just writing a workbook, even if you're just writing a how-to book, whatever you're doing, if you sit here on YouTube and talk about it, you can write a book about it. And it doesn't have to be a long book. I mean, just like they do those, crocheting for dummies or whatever, just a workbook, a step-by-step, a how-to, but it just adds, it puts a little more respect on your name.
So I do want to thank you again for coming in. We do have over 50 people, and we have a thumbs up over there on Facebook. And Dolores is saying, so how do you feel about ebooks if someone is uneasy about going straight to print?
Well, it just depends. I'm not a fan of ebooks just because I like books. So it's a personal thing for me. My sister, when she first launched her book, she launched it as an ebook and she did it for free, because that's the thing. Ebooks, y'all know, be like 99 cents, $1.99. I mean, I always talk about things can't always be just about money, but at the same time, when I'm saying it can't be about money, I'm saying don't get out here doing anything just for money if you're not passionate about it. But if you're passionate about it, you deserve to make your money. You see what I'm saying? And so an ebook, that's a lot of work. You're still putting in the same work in writing the book, but now because it doesn't, it's not a physical book, people can just upload it, then you're only going to make 50 cents each time. And so I just feel like, the print part of it, I'm not sure what the apprehension would be, because everything else up until that point is going to be the same. And so I'm thinking about now turning some of my books into ebooks, but I started with print.
No, that's a good point, because like everything out here just pretty much cut like what am I trying to say? Like on even on YouTube, like everybody's like, oh, you got this super chat, you got super stickers, memberships and all that. It's like people want their percentage, so yeah, I can feel you on that. Like when you say like with the ebooks, the $1.99, but then you only get so much out of that $1.99 when it's all said and done. That's how I feel about my super chats and everything else. I'm sorry, I'm just relating it to YouTube in my head.
No, that's okay. I mean, that's what a lot of us on here do. But that's the thing. And so you want the most bang for the work that you put into it. So my rule of thumb is we're doing things, they're a labor of love. We're passionate about it, but we still got to eat and we still got to pay bills. So you want to do it in a way where you're able to do what you love, but you're still getting your worth. And so that is just important. So you want to think about that, because, certain things just aren't going to bring you any money, and you don't want these big companies making more money off of your work than you are. So you have to figure a way to take it out. And Soil Sister, congratulations for your daughter. Books are really difficult. So I'm not sure what her book is about, but one thing that you can do to get traffic, again, is, y'all know I'm the queen of contradiction when I talk about things, because many things can be true at the same time. So on top of the fact that we want to make money off of our books, sometimes we got to give stuff away for free as well. Okay. But you have to be smart about it. The books do not cost a lot to print. So you just think about it, it's $5. But if you can identify some people who you feel like your book fits their platform, whether it's, somebody on YouTube, other parts of social media, there is nothing wrong with sending complimentary copies of your book, identifying certain people, writing them a handwritten note of why you thought that they would be a good person for the book, and asking them to share it with their group. If they never respond to you, you only lost $5 in postage. Another thing, and I need to say this while I'm thinking about it, when you get your books, if you decide to have your books printed and you send them to people, when you go to the post office, make sure that you tell them that you are mailing a book. There is a special postage for media that is a lot cheaper than regular postage, because the government wants to push people reading. So make sure that you tell them these are books. This is only a book. You will get the cheaper postage. Thank me later, because it's way cheaper. It's way cheaper. So just make sure you do that. But you do in the beginning, and even throughout, like if there's somebody you're like, dang, like somebody like Miss T or other people who are interviewing people, send them copies of the book, ask if they could have you as a guest, reach out to your local news shows. Your girls stay on the news talking to somebody for a paper, because they're looking for stories for their morning shows, their Saturday shows. Every day isn't bad news all the time. Sometimes they're looking for a happy story. Another thing which a lot of people don't know is you can do your own book signing at half price books. If you have a half price book in your city, they will allow you. Your book does not need to be sold at half price books. They will let you set up a free book signing and bring your books to sell to their customers. So those are ways to get your book out there.
So Big Rooster said it's called Amazon KDP, and I did want to just bring out a little. I'm relating this to YouTube, because like what you're speaking is like reminding me of YouTube. So like about a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, somebody was telling me to instead of waiting on affiliates to come to me, write out to the affiliate companies, and some of them I do send out free merch and stuff like that, just to get that street cred, get my name out there, QR codes, things like that, so they can see who I am and all that kind of stuff. So I do get that, sometimes you got to like put your, send stuff out on the free, but make sure like it's something or someone who you can benefit from, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And people don't know you, right? We have a group of people who know us, and then there's a much larger group of people who don't know us. Another thing that can help get your name out there is tagging people. If you're using your products, or if you have something that you think they might want to use, tag them. Just be mindful when you're doing it. Like, don't be tagging, Target or whatever if you haven't even mentioned Target. But if you are doing a Target haul, Tag target. You are giving them free advertisement. If you have a book and you feel like your book fits somebody's platform, fits their aesthetic, tag them in it. But with the tag, you want to put the timestamp of where you're talking about them, and you may even want to put why you tag them to bring attention. So it's all about, I tell everybody, shoot your shot. The worst thing you can do is get ignored, because a no is not even bad, because if you tell me no, that means that you took the time to look at it, which means somebody else will look at it and say yes. Being ignored is the worst thing. But even then, what have you lost? Nothing at all. So shoot your shot, but you want to be very professional in how you package things. You want to have your one sheet. You want to have your media kit. You want to have your stats of how much engagement you get, and, you know, just everything that you did. You have to sell yourself, but reaching out to them is fine, because there are literally millions of us out here doing what we're doing. And so you have to find a way to stand out.
Exactly. Are you able to explain more about Amazon KDP, or is he just mentioning something that we already talked
about? Amazon KDP is very similar to Lulu. Like I said, that's who my sister used to publish. So KDP is just Amazon's publishing, and I think it's Kindle something publishing, because, you know, Amazon now has Kindle, and so it's very much the same. You just have to decide which publishing, you know, you want to use, and you can even use both. I decided to use Lulu. My sister decided to use Amazon KDP. It's just, you know, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, depending on what you're trying to do.
Okay. Halfway through one, I just stalled. Okay. Let me see. Writer's block is real.
Yeah, it is. And that's why, for me, like I said, I use time blocking, and I just set in my mind that this is what I'm going to do from this time to this time. And even if I have writer's block, if I said that I'm going to write for 2 hours, I'm going to sit there for 2 hours, and I may end up only writing for 45 minutes, you know, and that other hour and 15 minutes may just be thinking and whatever. But you still have to be intentional, because rarely is it just going to hit you and like, oh, yes, you know, that stuff is in the movies. You have to be intentional about it. Another thing, since Rooster mentioned KDP, because again, y'all know I'm a woman of a certain age, so I got to say it when the thought hits me, or it'll be gone. But it's very important as well, when you first write a book, to get your book out to people ahead of time. So you want to identify a group of people who are going to be like your test readers, who read the book before it's actually for sale. It could be published, because publishing and selling are two different things. Like, you don't necessarily have to sell your book as soon as it's published, but you want people who are going to read it in the very beginning. Yeah, Kindle Direct Publishing. I couldn't remember what the D was for. But you want people who are going to read the book and be ready to put reviews on your book the day it goes live. That's something that I was able to talk to my sister with, help her with, coach her through, that I didn't do myself, because I taught myself everything about writing a book. Nobody taught me. I reached out to help from people who I knew wrote a book, and everybody wanted to be gatekeepers. Nobody wanted Stae to write a book for whatever reason. So I was determined to learn everything on my own and then share with people. And so there's things that I learned even after I wrote my book that now I know to share with other people. But getting those reviews on your book when it very first launches is so paramount to getting your book at the top of the list whenever you publish it, because you already have people who read it, gave it a 5-star review. And so now when strangers come to look at your book, they already can see what other people thought. So identify at least 10 people that you're going to give the book to free of charge in the very beginning, who will put those reviews on for you.
Now, see, I'm a woman of age as well, so I did want to give you this shout out before I forget, because a while ago you recommended me to sort out my time, like organize my time, like between this time and this time. I'm doing YouTube this time, and this time I'm thinking of ideas, responding to emails, or prioritize your time, break it down. Don't just like, whenever I have a free moment, let me try to, it works so much better now in life. Like, disregard last week, because last week it was kind of chaotic because I was out of town.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
But I've been doing that recently, and I do like that idea, that concept. So I do recommend.
Time blocking is great, and you just have to commit to it. Yeah, you have to commit to it. And when that time is up, move on to whatever's next and just commit to that time. It helps a lot. I'm glad you've been able to use it, Miss T.
Girl, I've been taking a lot of your advice, a lot. And I'm just like,
Thank you.
It's so great that we connected.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's been awesome. And I have to have you on my show, Miss T. We were talking about that the other day, Wallace and I. He's like, Miss T need to come on nighttime with you. So we're gonna have to come up with something. And maybe in the next couple of weeks you can join me on Living Life with Stae.
Okay, girl. Okay.
Yes.
Right now I have the manuscript open on my PC, and sometimes the story flows, but right now I'm struggling to write a sentence.
Well, see, this is what I say with that too. Whenever you do get writer's block, submerge yourself into something that's similar to what you're writing. So if you're writing, a novel, a love story, then sit down and watch a love story movie, watch some Lifetime, get your mind into that mindset. If you're doing a journal or something, then look through some other journals, not at all to copy, but I also say there's no need to reinvent the wheel. And a lot of times other people's ideas are thought-provoking for us to think of something else. So submerge yourself in that genre, whether it's listening to certain kind of music, whether it's watching certain movies, to kind of get your mind thinking in that way where someone else has already done the creative, and then you can just expound off of what you're seeing or hearing.
Okay. And Karen wants to elaborate. So your book isn't on the shelf at Barnes & Noble if you self-publish?
No, you can get it on the shelf at Barnes & Noble if you self-publish, but Barnes & Nobles, you would just need to sit down with their executives and they would want to stock the book on the shelf. But your book can be on barnesandnoble.com where people actually get it mailed to them from Barnes & Nobles, or they can pick it up in store. But no, self-publishing doesn't limit you to having the book on the shelf. It just is another extra step where you actually have to sit down with those executives and sell your idea and let them know, how the book would profit them. Because if that book just sits on the shelf, you're not going to make any money off of it, but you're still going to have to pay them to stock your book.
Okay, and Soul Sister has a question. What would be the best way to promote a published book? My daughter has published 3 books, but we don't have the traffic of sales.
Okay, I think this question was already up here, and I was talking about, she could do the book signings or send the books out to some people to promote it for her. Another thing is too, if you have a book, you always want to have a website. I don't know if your daughter has a website, but you want to have a website to send people to, have your bio on there, and things like that. And just, showing up as much as you can. And then again, identifying who your audience is and picking out some people that you may have to give the book to for free. And then I'm telling you, if y'all have a half price books in your city, go to half price books. A lot of my coaching clients do that. One of my clients was like a different half price book every weekend, doing a book signing and selling the books.
I love my website. I love it. I love it. Once, like I said, once my daughter goes off to school, it'll have more information on it, but it tells how many people came to visit. You can put I want to start doing a little bit of public speaking, so I can put my announcements. I have my merch. Everything you need to know about Miss T with the T is on that website. Yeah. Everything you know about Stae Hall is over there on her books. What she has going on over there. Awesome. Yeah.
The website is the one-stop shop. You can go on there and buy my t-shirts. You can go on there and get my book. You can see clips of different things that I've done. And so, yeah, websites are so powerful because that's where people go. And to answer Karen's question, the reason why I'm not always promoting for myself or my clients to have the book on the shelf is because people consume so much of what they want online. They're ordering online. They still go in Barnes and Nobles and things like that. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, if they go in there, if you go into a Barnes and Noble and say, I want a book by Stae Hall, they're going to look up my name in the system. And what they're going to say is, well, that book is out of stock right now, but we can have it for you in 2 days. You know what I mean? And I'm good with that because I don't want to, worry about stocking fees and things like that. But being online and having your website and being Googleable. And that's the thing too. You want to be able to rank in Google and, people just to be able to find you and be able to get whatever it is. And so if you Google me, you'll see everything I have and be able to buy it wherever. But having that website, having that one sheet, having that media kit, those are the things that really, help you stand out.
Okay. And do you understand all these numbers Big Rooster's throwing out? 1098 plus. Yeah.
I have no idea. No, I was looking and, at first my wheels start turning like, am I supposed to know that? But I don't know. What is that? Cat walking on a keyboard. I don't know. Explain, sir.
Okay. Welcome in, Son of One and Kenneth as well. Let me see who else. Have you started your book? Oh, Big E. Okay. Big E.
Oh, Big Rooster's writing a book.
Okay. My Alabama farm life. When I am in my garden and working, the ideas are the best there. And I sit down, I try to get the idea in print. Yes, when a thought comes to my head, I always keep some kind of paper because like it'll leave, and sometimes I don't find it.
You use the notes in your phone, send yourself a text message, send yourself a voice message. I mean, I am notorious for waking up out of my sleep 3-4 o'clock in the morning and texting myself because something will pop in my head in my sleep. And because I know if I just go back to sleep, I'm going to forget. And then I'll wake up remembering that I had a great idea in the middle of the night, but I won't remember what the idea was. So yeah, just, have that notepad next to your bed. Or again, we got our phones, just text yourself. I text myself often.
Thank you, Everyday Life OCD. She's been reminding everybody there's a special postage for books when you go to this. Thank you, Lachey.
It's called the media rate.
Media rate. Okay. It's hard to write when you could be outside with plants.
Well, you don't have to write. Just talk it into your phone. Have a voice. Yeah, see voice recordings. Yep. And you could do that right on your phone. So
that's one of her favorite spots, Half Price Bookstore.
Yeah, you can definitely do a book signing there free of charge, and they will let you set up a table right up front, and you can sign your books, take your banners, all that kind of stuff.
Cricket Peach, she always cracks me up because she's like, when I do tutorials and stuff, she's like, I'm on my third book, Miss T. You done gave me so much knowledge. I gotta jot all this stuff down.
That is so funny. Hey, Crooked Peach, she joined me up here last night.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Bud Files. When I'm working out and about ideas pop in my head, I grab my phone. Okay. Text, yes. Please jot text or something.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Then I'll forget it, and then it'll never come back.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like with me, but I don't forget that I had an idea. So then it really bugs me because I'm like, I thought of something really good and I cannot remember what it is. Even when I'm thinking about topics for, videos or whatever, it's like, yeah, let me go ahead and text this now or I'll forget. BookBolt is another good one. BookBolt is good. I didn't use them, but I did find out about BookBolt when I was doing my research. Yeah, and that's the thing. I went with Lulu. You don't have to, but that's what I know the best. And I've been using Lulu now since 2018, but there are several out there. So it just depends on what fits you. Lulu just, to me, gave me the most bang for my buck, and they do the global distribution, and they've just really been easy to work with. But yeah, there's a lot of self-publishing companies out there. But BookBolt is one that I did a lot of research on, and I don't even know why I didn't choose them. It wasn't anything major.
Yeah, go with what. Even when you're doing, look, again, YouTube related, like some people use StreamYard. You gotta like shop around. Just play with them, see what kind of benefits you would like to have. Right. Welcome in, Carol the Girl Miniature. People have been asking me about when you're gonna be coming up here doing a lunch special, and let me know if you are going live on Friday after the live, please and thank you. I would love to write a children's book. I have to research on it. Okay.
Yeah, my sister just launched her children's book. She had an awesome launch. But yeah, children's books are definitely awesome. And you can find your illustrator. My sister has some beautiful illustrations in her book, and it was all done on Fiverr. And I mean, that's what people talk about so much, is how vibrant her illustrations are in her book. And yeah, she found someone really awesome to do that and worked with her well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing Jamie's adult book coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, Jamie.
Okay. It's always good to see somebody starting out in new ventures. my Alabama. That's how greatest stories happen out there in the garden. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's up,
Good
CC?
morning, CC.
The Jacksons. What's up, neighbor?
Hi there.
Okay. Sarah's Happy Hives. Oh. Sarah's Happy Hives sent Carol the Girl miniature a miniature bottle of honey.
Oh, how cute is that? Oh my gosh.
Uh, let's see. Sandra living a full life. Hello.
Sandra?
I'm going to start doing that time blocking. Oh, very, 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 very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. I write my day out from 7 to 7.
Because before I was just like, okay, I got 10 minutes. Let me see what I can do. And then it's just like a little bit here, a little bit there. Whereas like now I know what I'm going to be doing. I have more time set aside.
Yeah, and then you don't worry about everything that you have to do all at one time because you know you're going to get to it because you've scheduled it. So you're not doing one thing, wondering, okay, I still need to do this, this, and this. It's a schedule. And I set alarms in my phone, for each time. So if I'm sitting down for 2 hours and it's, 9 o'clock, I set an alarm for 11 so that it rings and I'm like, okay, I got to quit working on this now and move to something else.
Mm-hmm. I think the only thing I need to do now is like silence my phone because like I get text message and notifications and then I get distracted. I'm like, no.
Yes, that's what my live was about last night, being mindful about navigating everything online and how distracted we can get with notifications. I had to go through and turn off notifications for a lot of apps because it was too much. It was too much. And even having them on my screen, I would pick up my phone to text somebody or email somebody, but then I got all these notifications on my screen. So I'm checking all those and then I forget what I was going to do. And I'm like, I picked up my phone to do something and now I done got caught up looking at all these notifications.
I can relate. I have to use a whiteboard and schedulers. Okay. Whatever works for you, girl.
Yeah, and that's another thing. When you're writing a book, don't necessarily think that you have to write from the beginning to the end. You can write whatever comes to mind and put it together later. I do something that's called chapter storming. I start with the chapters of my book and all the titles of the chapters before I do anything. Like I just come up with ideas and these are the chapters and then I build what I want to write. Now, that's not necessarily going to work for everybody, but I just say that to say, don't think that writing a book is any one specific format where you have to start with in the beginning and end with the end. You can write all the stuff in between and short stories. So I have somebody who came to me about writing a book and they wanted to write a book kind of based off of their life, but they didn't feel like they could really start with when I was 10 years old, when I was 12 years old, they just have different thoughts. So I said, well, instead of writing a book from beginning to end, then just write a book full of short stories about your life where it doesn't necessarily have to go in chronological order. You can just write short stories and make that come together. So it's up to you. Writing is creative. I mean, I know we're all used to books and you think that books have to be a certain way, but it's creative. So however it works for you is fine. And there's going to be someone who can relate to your style.
Okay. Welcome in, Rochelle Vanderpool. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. And the coolest gamer on the block is up in here. Let me see. Everybody's speaking and saying hi. You let me know if you see a question in here. I'm just trying to catch up. There we go. Websites are easy to build now than they used to be. Plus, you can do direct sales on there too.
Right. Easy to build for you, Dolores. That's why we need you, because I still can't say they're easy to build, but it's easy to find somebody to build one for you, and it's not nearly as expensive as it used to be. I can go on my website and change little things here and there, but yeah, building one from scratch, I don't know. We need a new website now for a new nonprofit, but
What's up, Sunshine? She said she's listening while battling this hair. So I've been like not getting my hair ironed out because I'm trying to get back to my curl pattern. This is totally not related, but yeah. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to just do straight El Natural.
it's not for me. I have to keep mine either in a protective style or straight. I tried. Like my sister is awesome with her hair, with her natural hair. Mine, I be looking like Frederick Douglass. I can't.
Oh my.
Okay, so how about true story? I was invited to a private book signing with Stedman Graham, the Stedman, Oprah's man, right? And he was, and it's so funny because it's kind of related. So there is a lady by the name of Jan, who is a publisher here in Dallas, Fort Worth. And she had a public book signing. She was publishing Stedman's book. And so it was a VIP at this huge mansion in Dallas. I mean, they had valet parking. They were passing out the champagne. I was new to my natural hair and decided for whatever that I was going to do a wash and go. And we drove my convertible. I get there looking like Frederick Douglass, taking pictures with Stedman Graham, and then actually gave him my book and asked him to give it to Oprah. I saw him put my book in his briefcase. So my book at least made it to Oprah's house. Now, I might have went in the trash can once it got there. But if y'all could see those pictures of me and Stedman, I couldn't even post them online. I look crazy. I look crazy.
You had to meet Stedman. Wow. You two are smart, powerful, funny, engaging, and totally relatable. No gatekeeping here. Thank you very much.
No, I don't believe in that. I mean, because there's enough out here for all of us. And I truly believe that it's a blessing to be a blessing. So I believe that the more I give, the more I'll also receive. And so I don't understand. Miss T, you want to see this picture? Let me see if you can see it.
And while you get that, 4 Shades of Us said, Miss T with the T and Stae, who can I reach that book cover? And that would be, we talked about that earlier, and possibly Fiverr.
Do you see that?
Hello. Hi. And then y'all have the convertible down, so the wind's just like messing up the whole.
Who does that? Me. That's how I do. Me and Stedman. But I got to meet him. Gave him my book.
I had the sweetest lady come to the door. She was hard to get rid of her. Oh, wow.
Oh. But was somebody asking about the cover? Like I said, you can go to Fiverr for the cover. You can go to Dolores for the cover. So, yeah. You can go get your cover done. It's not really that big of a deal. One thing I also suggest to people is do not put yourself on the front cover of your book. Just my opinion. Because we're not superstars yet. We're going to be superstars one day. Put your picture, the little picture on the bottom of the book and the back cover with your bio or whatever, but don't make your front cover your book, because why? Nobody knows who you are. And they say don't judge a book by its cover, but people do. They look at the picture and the cover before they even read the title. So if they see a face of somebody that they don't know, they're automatically not going to be interested. So I suggest having artwork, something like that. And if you want your picture on your book, which mine is on the back of my book or whatever, because, we all have that certain amount of vanity. It's your book. You want your picture somewhere, but do not make yourself the cover of the book, because nobody knows who you are.
So Karen Sawyer wants to know if she can have information to connect with your sister.
Absolutely. Yes. So she is Margot H. Towner. And let me see if Margot, are you still on here to put your website in the chat?
Also, Stae Hall has a email. If you guys want to go there and reach out to her, she's very prompt on responding as well, guys.
Thank you for that, because I can be horrible, but it's actually, I'm putting it in here. Hers is MargotTownerBooks.com. I'll put it in the chat, and then my email, I'll put it in here, info@staehall.com.
There's some people I reach out to via email, and be like 2 weeks later, like, girl, I don't even check my email. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, no, I have. And that's another thing too, y'all, for, once you start doing things, I have a lot of stuff going on. So I have several businesses. I do my social media. I have a nonprofit organization. I sit on several boards. I just got elected to the board of directors for the YMCA here, y'all. So that's a new thing. So I'm going to be on the board for the YMCA. They just made that announcement yesterday. And so I do a lot. So I have different emails for different things. So I have my one email that's for spam type of stuff whenever I'm signing up for something like Target and all that. Then I have my certain email for my soft skills business. Then I have another email for, my content creation. So get different emails. And I'm glad we're talking about emails, because I've never mentioned this, Miss T, as much as we've talked about business and building your brand or whatever. Y'all, please try to drop those at Gmail and at yahoo.com. It only costs like $2 a month and sometimes cheaper to get to get an email, because again, when you're shopping yourself around, there's just certain things that just put a little bit more respect on your name, just give you a little more street cred. So you want info@misst.com or hello@misst.com, just something like I have info@staehall.com, and then I have staehall@isalt.com with my business, because when you're just at Yahoo or at Gmail or at Yahoo, sometimes people just don't take you as seriously. And it's no shade, but I mean, I'm just telling y'all what I know, because for years I was dealing with the free ones, and I would do, Stae Hall at Gmail. But again, people, it just makes you look a little bit more legit when you have a customized email address, and they're not that expensive.
Yeah, where I got my website at, they keep sending me every now and then, upgrade your email address, and it's like $1.50, $2, most like $2.99, depending on what kind of package you want or whatever. So I would take that into consideration. And I love this comment from Alabama Farm Life. The best advice is given to write a book about what you know. If you write about what you know, it's more of a passion. So I do like that piece of advice.
Yeah. Shout out to my cousin Rhonda over here looking on Facebook. Y'all know I'm bad with checking Facebook, so please forgive me when you're on Facebook, because I'm always focused on YouTube. But feel free to move on over to YouTube. But good morning, cousin.
And Rochelle says, Miss T, great topic. I've been thinking about writing a book. This is a sign. This is a sign. And what's up, Deshaun on the track and Nancy B, the scratcher. Cricket Pete, sorry. The guest that didn't want to leave. I thought your message was directed me, so I answered. Oh, okay.
Oh, we always be helping each other anyway. You're welcome, Margot. Yeah, somebody wants to reach out to you about your illustrator. So, but I know, she did a lot on Fiverr, and I'm telling you, her illustrations are fire.
Look at us. We are at 10:30 and still like 55 people in here.
Thank you. My goodness.
I know, right? Your girl about 10:30, like, so who we back?
Oh, yeah. I know you hungry. Jags ain't here. Yeah, where is J3? He ain't here to have you on your fast.
His wife had surgery yesterday, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, definitely sending prayers out for her for a speedy recovery.
Yeah. Welcome in, Diana's Homestead. How you doing? Absolutely.
Yeah, people just like to know that you're taking your business seriously, and it's little stuff. But again, like that email thing, my mentor told me that like one of the first times that I sent him an email, and he's like, what's up with this at Gmail? Like you can't get he was like, whenever people send me something, and again, it's different people. Some people are bougie and whatever. And so you never know who you're dealing with. And he was like, yeah, when I get emails from people like that, I don't even feel like you're taking your business seriously. Now, everybody might not be like that, but you know how you hear certain things and they just stick in your head. And so I've constantly, Margot's here. Her handle on here is Go Town, because that's the name of her publishing company, I believe, Go Town Publishing.
See that from Sammy Joe? She said, we all had bad hair days. Go ahead and put that picture out.
I made one day in a collage, like when I just talk about all the people I've had the chance to meet and mix it in with a bunch of different people. Oh, goodness. It was horrible.
Yeah, professional email. I will be looking into that very, very soon.
Yeah, and they're very inexpensive. And also with your website, don't think that you have to have a website with multiple pages and all this. You can just do what's called a landing page and just have one page. Just start somewhere, because that's the thing. You just don't want to have an idea that you overthink so much. Like, you want to be ready. But again, I still learn all the time. I teach my clients things that I had no idea about when I was doing what I was doing. So I'm still learning as I go through all this. And I consider myself a professional and an expert, but I still learn things. That's why I have a coach. That's why I have a mentor. So don't feel like everything has to be perfect. Like my second book is a lot better than my first book, and so on and so forth. I'm relaunching my first book because I didn't have affirmations in my first book, and I think I should have. So now I'm going to relaunch it. And that's the thing too. You can always relaunch, you can always rebrand, but you got to get started to do any of it.
Okay. I want to welcome in Vocal Antisocial and the Educated Natural. Fresh and Fire said she didn't even think about the professional email address. I didn't either, but that does make sense. It makes you stand out a little bit more. And Big Rooster said that's for all.
Yeah, Fiverr is good for everything. And the thing is, y'all, we talk about branding a lot. One thing about me, if you see anything I do, it's going to have that Tiffany blue color in it, including my house. That's my signature color. You want people to be able to identify you. So you come up with your branding colors and you try to incorporate them in everything you do. Now you can add a color to it because sometimes I use Tiffany blue and gray. Sometimes I use Tiffany blue and yellow, but that Tiffany blue is always going to be there because people know me by that. Another thing you could do is like if you do a lot of networking, wear your brand color, wear a Tiffany blue blazer or a Tiffany blue blouse. Like it's just little things like that. When you find a font that you like, use that font all the time. Don't be switching up your font every time you put some copy out there, because what you're trying to do is create that cohesiveness that is your brand, that when people see certain things, they think about you. And all that stuff is important. And it's really easy. You just have to be intentional about it. Mm-hmm. Because I was good at that too. I would switch up things, whatever I thought was pretty that day. I would be like, oh, I'm going to use this font. Oh, I like this color. But somebody had to coach me like, girl, you look like you all over the place. What's your brand? Like Heinz, ketchup and all these different companies, Chick-fil-A, they do not change their branding and colors every day. Why are you doing that? But I'm so creative. So I would just be like, oh, squirrel, I want to do this today. You want to be cohesive.
That is good information. And again, I'm relating this to YouTube and TikTok and all my social media because like lately I've been doing these skits blowing up on YouTube. Been using the same font on TikTok, and like I've been growing over there on TikTok. Finally, TikTok is like recognizing.
I see you popping up. I try to like it, and every time you scroll up,
I do the same with you as well. And then I'm like, wow. So I'm not switching up. Okay, I'm not. Okay, I got the same retro font, the white background, 99% of my videos, and it's working. So I do it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Find something. You want it to be something you like, but you also want it to be appealing to other people. So you find that happy medium, and then you just stick to it and enhance on it and build on it. And you can tweak it just a little bit, but your main core thing, you want to keep that where people know it's you.
So you guys also, Almost Homesteading with Janet wants to know if anybody's going live today. So if you could put that in here, she could post that on the community tab. Maybe on Stae Hall's live and not Miss T's. She may be on. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, my sister. Yeah, she might. Yeah, she's probably on my live.
Let me see. I need to change the email and I need to get a more professional number. I have been using Google Voice for people who I'm working with. Okay.
Oh yeah, I used Google Voice for years until I decided to get another line.
Get on board with some type of brand. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Canva is really good too with helping you pick out like brand colors and helping you stick to colors, or just getting with a coach. And that's why I said I'm trying to get on Fiverr to offering coaching, but y'all have access to me. I do, coaching consultations where you don't necessarily have to sign up for a 6-week program with me. If you just want to talk to me for an hour and I can help you with certain things, y'all have my email address and we can do that kind of stuff as well, because it is good to sit down with someone and kind of figure out exactly what direction you want to go in before you really launch.
So your sister says she's driving, and Crooked Peach says, Stae Hall, you should start a series, Get Your Life Right with Stae. She does go live over there on her channel as well and has different topics. So if you're not connected, you should connect with her. You might have to put at Stae Hall or somebody
Yeah,
just dropped.
she was on my live last
Oh,
night, so she
yeah.
has. But it's so funny. She said, "Get your life right." So that is one of my T-shirts, but it's spelled LYFE, and it's "Get your life right." I do have my merch. One of them says that, so that's funny.
I totally forgot you did that on your show. Thanks so much for this valuable advice. Ooh, yeah,
You're
girl stuff.
welcome. I'm glad it was some value. So, Miss T, we got to think about what you want to talk about on what's a good topic for us on my channel, because I need to introduce the Lifer Tribe to you, because I always mention you when you pop up in the comments, but they
Girl,
haven't seen you
my
yet.
life right. All right. We have college stuff over here in this corner. We got graduation stuff. Look
Oh
for
my
this.
goodness.
I'm trying to get my
Exciting.
let me see. Never thought of color. Yeah, because like she said, if you're all over the place, it's kind of hard to kind of distinguish who you are. So that, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody, knows me by my color. Like all of my book covers have that color in it. And again, I might implement some different colors with it, but it's never going to be absent that Tiffany blue. And I keep my font the same, but it's just things that you learn. And so that's why I like to tell people from mistakes that I made. So that'll just put you one step ahead of the game. So again, I love sharing information, and I'll share information with y'all that I didn't even have when I got started, just to, help you that much more. But yeah, I see Dolores is saying Canva can help with branding and logos. Yeah, Canva and Fiverr, man, I use Canva every day.
Stalking yourself. Yeah, like now I'm known on the shorts, the crazy lady with the dating advice. Okay. So I put like life, dating over 40 in my hashtags and stuff. I stick with it. So people like it. I'm rolling with it,
Yeah, you have to. And that's the thing too. You can even create your own hashtag. It's not going to get that much traction in the very beginning, but just make sure you put it on every single thing, because you have to remember that you are a brand, you are the business. So if it's, hashtag Miss T with the T, put it on every single thing that you do. So then eventually people will start doing it. And that's something that you can also tell people whenever you write your book, whenever you do whatever. Ask people to put a certain hashtag. Like when you write your book, make sure that you ask the people, especially the people that you give the book to for free, ask them to take a picture of themselves holding the book, post it on their social media, and then put hashtag whatever it is. Every one of my events that I do has a hashtag for it. And I ask people, you take pictures at my conference, put this hashtag, because that's how hashtags grow. That's how when you put those hashtags in, it shows a number of how many people used it, because that's how many people used it. And so that's how your hashtag will grow. But in the beginning, you have to spoon feed people. Don't be afraid to ask them, write a review for my book. Please take a picture with this. If you like my content, please share it. Please, take a screenshot, whatever it is, because that's what it's going to take to grow. But you have to, a closed mouth don't get fed. You have to ask.
Girl, we are still in the 55 plus, so we might do a 2-hour series eventually. I have
Yes, yeah, we definitely can.
Meal plan on my my time blocking so I can eat. So I would want to stay on here for 2 hours, but Time said, how many pages do you recommend to come up with a book?
It depends on what kind of book you're writing. Like if it's a children's book, then you probably only want about 20 pages or more. If it's an adult book, then you want to look at anywhere, no less than 150 pages. And again, depending on the size of your book, I usually do like a 5x7 type of book. And then when you're writing, you don't want to go by the pages, because most of us are going to be using Word to write, and those pages are a different size. So what you want to pay attention to is your word count. And so my rule of thumb, if you want a book that's about this thick, which, this is very unorthodox just to say this thick, but you know what I'm saying, just a regular size book, then you want to look to write at about 52,000 words. If you have 50 to 52,000 words, then you're probably going to get a decent sized book. And I only say that again because it's the aesthetics. People want a book to look like a book and not a pamphlet, unless you're doing a coloring book, or unless you're doing a children's book, or unless it is a how-to. But if you're actually writing some kind of story, some kind of journal, you want people to feel like they got $20 in their hand if you're charging $20. So writing in Word, look to get at least 50,000 words.
See, I want to go back to before I forget. I like how you said you got to remind people, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please leave a review because we know, because most of us here are content creators, but the average person who's not a content creator or things like that, they won't know to hit the subscribe button. They just like scrolling and just like, oh, okay, I heart that, but hey, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, like, things like that. You got to kind of put it
right. You have to ask for what you want, because even as content creators, I don't know about you, Miss T, but sometimes I forget to like until somebody says, like Tim will come in, smash the thumbs up, or if you say it and you like it, because on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, it's short form and we're more accustomed to just hitting that like button. But when you sit with somebody for an hour and you're consuming the content, it's like watching TV. So you don't even think about hitting the like sometimes. And so that's why there's nothing wrong with, saying that throughout, because it's not that people don't want to do it. They're just so into your content, they're not even thinking about hitting like. Because a lot of people are watching on their TV.
You know what? I got my weekly analytics. Only 5% of people my videos watch on TV. So 95% of people on my end, this is just me and my weekly YouTube studio analytics. 95% of y'all just watch. Well, most of the time I get Miss T, I'm watching you on the way to work, or
that's what I got ready to say, because most of my people watch on TV, but I think it's because I'm on 7:00 in the evening and people aren't on the go. But people are listening to you and driving. It's like the Steve Harvey Morning Show. So people are on the go.
Also, I'm saying with Jen, I don't know if you know, but Andell told me last night she's not going live today. No, there. We was thinking the same thing. Do you think it's market for children's books? Absolutely, I do.
Oh, yeah. Again, that's what my sister just published. And the thing is also finding your niche, even in a children's book. And so my sister, she has a son she's raising who is autistic and nonverbal. And so her book is about, an autistic little boy and, the things he deals with day to day. And so there's niche even in that, if there's something that, specifically, because kids are dealing with all kind of things these days. And so if you can tap into something that's not just like a regular storybook, where it can actually be a story for kids, but something helpful, there's definitely a market for that. And then someone was asking about reviews, leaving reviews for me. A review for me that you would want to put on my website, you would just email it to me and I would have my web designer put it on the website. But what I would appreciate for y'all, even though my book is old now, but I didn't do it. Hey, Nick, thank you for tuning in. Good morning. But if y'all can go on Amazon and just put Stae Hall in Amazon and leave your girl a review, because that is something that I did not ask. If you look at one of my books has no reviews, the other one only has 2, because I never asked anybody. But I tell all my coaching clients, make sure y'all get y'all reviews. So if y'all could go to Amazon and put in Stae Hall and leave me a review, I would love that.
Thank you, Andell, again for being in here. I know she's tired. I didn't go to bed till about midnight plus. Okay, midnight, 1 o'clock. And then I had to wake up
all the time. I don't sleep though. I don't sleep. I have to force myself to sleep. But it looked like y'all had a good time in Savannah.
We did. We had.
I saw you cutting up on the rooftop, and I saw them trolls come into your live. You was like, "All right, we ending this."
That's the only thing about pop-up lives. Well, like now, people know I go live this time, so the moderators are here. But when I do a pop-up live, maybe I should enhance how many moderators I do have, because that, when I do a pop-up, especially late night, they're not expecting me to go live at night. Right. So my moderators most of the time aren't there. So when we do get them trolls and stuff like that, I was like, but when it's 50, 60 people in a live stream, I won't get to that troll.
Yeah, exactly.
Until forever. Okay.
Hey, Nakisha, good morning, sis. Thank you for being here. And y'all, whoever is coming from my page, please check out Miss T with the T and subscribe. She has an awesome morning show here and an awesome community that I have called the T Unit until she officially comes up with the name. They're going to be the T Unit to me until you make the announcement.
I'm going to get some merch. I'm going to make some merch. T Unit. Can you tell us your sister's book's name?
It's called Why Is Everything So Loud? And I just typed it in the chat. Yeah, and it's a children's book, and the main character's name is Jackson, and Jackson is autistic. It's a really, really cute book.
Janice said Tuesdays are a free day because not too many people. Well, usually we have Andale, African Dreaming. Who else goes live on Tuesdays? That's all I know. Andale and African Dreaming, about 12. Are you going live today, Stae Hall?
No, I'm Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. And so March Madness is over. So I'm no longer going live. Today, Tuesdays for me is usually full of one-on-one coaching clients. So that's my first client is at 11:30, and I'll be going all the way through to this evening. And I still have room for coaching clients, y'all. Don't be afraid to shoot your shot.
If my barber can write a children's book, there has to be a huge market. I'm just saying, okay, that's true.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have tons of books here for my grandkids. They have a whole bookshelf.
Thanks for the heads up. Says, about the Tuesdays. Okay, Fresh and Fire, possibly coming in on the Tuesdays. Yeah. How can you go about finding how to price your books? Okay,
so that's the thing too. If you use lulu.com, they will give you a suggestion of how much your book should be priced, but you don't have to use it, but they'll just base it on your genre, the amount of pages and things like that. So that's why I love Lulu. It's really a good tool because they walk you through everything step by step. And like I said, go to Lulu Publishing here on YouTube. You will be an expert after you watch a few of their books. A few of their videos, but yeah, they will give you a price point that they feel like is good. But again, you don't have to go with that, but at least it'll give you an idea, and it'll be based on comparison of other books of your size, your genre, and you know what they sell for. And then you can always change the price of your book. You can have your book go on sale. Like there's all different things that you can do. Like once you price your book, if you want to do a Mother's Day sale for your book, because I usually put my book on sale over Mother's Day because, you know, it's a weekly devotional for women. And then I usually put it on sale at the new year because it's a 52-week devotional. And so you can always go in and change the pricing of your book. Or if you feel like you underpriced or overpriced, whatever, none of that is set in stone.
Okay. Fresh and Fire, I'm struggling too. Okay. Drinking for a whole week and then just coming back to reality.
You got to get rehydrated, detox.
I've been drinking waters. Like last night we went to Applebee's. Like, let me get another cup of water, please, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's really good if you've had like some heavy drinking for a week or a weekend is dandelion tea. It's a really good detox and it's really good for your liver and get all those toxins out there. So yeah, get some dandelion tea. It's really good for getting the alcohol toxins out of your system. I just heard. I don't know, but I just heard.
Told me she went live today. I was like, boy, that show does sound nice. Not to go live. I was like, no, we got Stae. People requested this. We're gonna see it through.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about you just coming back when you were like, well, what would be a good day? You were probably like, why did she pick the night? But this is just my day where I know I'll be sitting here all day because all of my coaching clients today are via Zoom. So this is where I will be for the next several hours.
Janet, did you see this? Crooked Peach wants your email. Let me see. That's the name of the book right there. Why is everything so loud? Thank you so much, Foraging. I appreciate that. It's on my channel, Crooked Peach.
Oh, Liquid IV is good too. She is Sunshine. Yeah, I'm taking Liquid IV now because I'm doing this Wegovy. So,
yeah, it'll be a good idea for your community to get to know you more by going live if that's something you're interested in doing. And we're almost at 60 people at 10:47. Okay, well,
I'm like, and I know that is killing you. Look, I'm gonna be like Jags. Look, my first client ain't until 11:30. So
I'm gonna start having a Snickers bar. You know, commercial where she's like Aretha Franklin and just like angry and stuff, and then Lord,
yes, Snickers. That is so funny. But yeah, going live is just a great way for people to get to know you. I've had so many speaking engagements and things based on people showing up on my lives because they get to see my personality and they see it in video as well. But and going live, I have to credit Miss T for me going live on YouTube because I went live on YouTube a lot during the height of COVID because I wasn't able to meet with my clients, but it was just a very small group. But most of my lives I would do on Facebook because I have such a huge following on Facebook. But I thank Miss T for encouraging me to go live on YouTube because, yeah, I put content on YouTube all the time. Just never really thought about going live on YouTube. It was always just on Facebook. But yeah, and it helps a lot with your watch hours. It does.
Diana's Homestead said, do you need a publisher?
No, you can be your own publisher. So I started off being my own publisher, and now I can publish for other people. So no, that's what we were talking about, self-publishing. And just, get on YouTube and search self-publishing, go to Lulu. And my sister is saying Amazon KDP, which is the Kindle direct publishing through Amazon. And yeah, you self-publish. You can become your own publisher. Oh, thank you, Crooked Peach. Look at that, Margot.
Oh, that's awesome. And we have 6
I'm telling you
here now. So
wow.
I know, girl, like so awesome. I'm 150. Let me see. The great information. I'm definitely watching this again. I have tried dandelions. I need some of that tea.
Yeah. Dandelion tea will get you detox, and liquid IV is really good too. Liquid IV is good to drink while you're drinking, because you usually don't drink as much water because you're filling up your belly with the cocktail. So the liquid IV at least will give you the electrolytes.
Crooked Peach, if you can see my email, if you want to email me, I can give you her email address. If you're not seeing it over there, Almost Homesteaded with Janet. I'm with the T 1980, but it should be in my description. Let me know if you see it. We'll try to help you out the best of our ability.
Yeah, and all of my contact information, if you go to any of my videos, if you're subscribed to me on YouTube, I always put all of my contact information in the description box as well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's a good thing to be able to tell people, y'all. If you don't have time to give your people the information, just Google me.
Okay. Also, if you're watching the replay of this, I do have Stae Hall's YouTube page in the description of this video live stream. So if you want to connect with her as well. A candy dish. Okay. Well, I don't want to eat candy at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
I need a pizza oven.
I wake up like at 8 o'clock. I do my skit. I'm not really hungry. So I'm like, okay. But about 10:30, my stomach be like, so what are we going to eat?
Yeah. I'm surprised you still get hungry because I only do one meal a day. I do the intermittent fasting. And so I do my bulletproof coffee. I do like around noon. So the first time I have anything besides water is noon. But it wasn't easy. But now I'm just used to it. So I'm surprised with this plan that J3 has had you on that you even get hungry anymore because he had you on a strict intermittent fasting.
Around 10:30, my stomach is ready to punch J3 in the face. Like, the live is over.
Oh my goodness. Hey Trish, how are you? Trish the natural in the house.
Yeah, natural. We were talking about natural hair here earlier.
I know.
What does it say? We come in on Fridays. What? Okay, my eyes are messing up. We come in on 10 Friday, and you were like, wait a minute, I've been doing this all. Oh, yeah. So, okay. I told you I'm hungry. So I got to Savannah Monday. So I was already running up without them. So by the time they got there, and we had this riverfront walk and Wet Willies and stuff. They was like, come on, Miss T, let's drink.
I love Wet Willies.
I've been drinking all week. I'm not messing with y'all. Come on. Oh, and then the next day we at the rooftop. Come on, Miss, drink some more. I'm trying to get ready to sober up. I don't want to.
You were on the tail end. They was just getting started.
Okay, they were just getting started. I'm like, I've been doing this all week. I'm tired. Tired, boss. There goes the other there. What's up, Shawnee? Shawnee's like, come on, take this mile walk to Wet Willie. Let's.
I was cracking up at Shawnee when that troll came on. First, Shawnee, because Shawnee be speaking to everybody. So she's like, hey, such and such. Then she read the comment and was like, no, this ain't that kind of live. Get off of here. Get off of here. I was like, yeah, Shawnee be trying. She be greeting everybody as they come in. And she was like, oh, no, we ain't want to say hi to you. Okay. What Trish say, I've been listening in the clouds here and there. I've been thinking about an ebook. I think I have it pretty much outlined. Good. And I'm telling y'all, ebooks are fine. but you ain't gonna make no money on ebook. So if you want to do an ebook, that's fine, but make sure you have that print option. Do not sell yourself short by being forced to sell your book for $2 and only getting 50 cents from it. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. If you want to make any money, because you're gonna get mad when them royalty checks come and it's only $12.99.
Okay.
You done sold 300 books.
Right.
That's the thing. So making that an option, but I just suggest, and I told my sister this, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing, but it was a great idea because again, when I coach, I'm not telling you what to do. I just offer advice and guidance. And she decided to start with the ebook first. And it was great. But, I just talked to her afterwards when we kind of looked after the actual launch. I'm like, I think maybe you should have did it the other way around. And she's like, yeah, maybe. And it was still great. But I'm just saying, you don't want people to be able to get 9 million people to be able to get an ebook for $2 and you don't make anything. And then you decide to put it in print. Now they may not buy it in print because they already got it in ebook. So it's just something to think about monetarily.
Good points. We are encouraging Diana's Homestead to go live. Glad to hear that. RBS, what are you wanting to know a price about? How much is it? Awesome. I heard about Amazon does help you publish your books. Okay.
Yeah, KDP Publishing with Amazon.
Okay.
I think Marga's saying thank you to Crooked Peach for ordering the book. Hey, Lisa, I see some of my Lifer tribe over here. Hey, Lisa, how are you? I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Okay.
Hey, Dawn, good morning.
Thursday. Once I leave this appointment, it's hibernation time. Okay. Let me see. I'm debating on getting my hair ironed out because it's supposed to rain here till Saturday. Do you have a lot of spam?
Yeah, I get mine done Thursday because I'm leaving for out of town Saturday. I'm gone most of April. Stae, do you have a lot of spam for putting your email address in the description? No, I don't get a lot of spam. And I definitely suggest, set up an email specifically for your content creation. Put it in your description box because that's how brands reach out to you as well. They're looking for an email address. And then also, y'all, use LinkedIn. Even though LinkedIn is a different kind of platform than a lot of us use as content creators, again, that's where brands are a lot of times. And that is one of the best places. Like, it's fine to slide in somebody's DM on Instagram or whatever, because again, these brands are used to it. They know content creators, but just a little way to step up your game is to be on LinkedIn. It just makes you look more polished, more professional. And on LinkedIn, you can actually look up and see who is in charge of PR, who is in charge of sponsorships and collaborations, and you can send them a direct message on LinkedIn. And so you can go in there and put, like, right now, I'm trying to talk to Dossier Perfumes, and I actually have a person that I'm talking to, and I was able to find them on, LinkedIn, where you can actually see their title and what they do, because on Instagram, just because that person's running Instagram doesn't mean that they're in charge of sponsorships and collaboration. So get on LinkedIn, look up the companies and look at the people who work there and find out what they do and send them your media kit and start a conversation.
I love that also because, like, I have a separate for my personal email, then I have the with Miss T with the T email. And I always encourage people, if you're trying to be a content creator, like trying to make something out of this, have at least your email in your description so brands and companies can get a hold of you. The only thing I'd have problem with on my email is those people like I can help with your SEO.
Yeah, I get that constantly, and I just delete those. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, that's the only spam I really get, and but it's just kind of, you got to weigh it out. But the brands, that's how they're going to reach out to you. I mean, once in a while they may inbox you or whatever, and on YouTube there is no inbox, so
right, and like,
they're not going to
tell you they want to get a hold of you, like they want you to work with you if you don't have any point of communication.
Yeah, so you want to be accessible. So yeah, and don't just depend on them to look, because they're going through literally millions of people. So don't think that they're going to leave YouTube to find you on Instagram to get into your inbox. You know what I mean? They want something right there where they can just send you an email.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I've gotten a lot of speaking engagements and clients because that email was there.
Let me see. Linda's front row says she does omit fasting.
That's what I do.
And dinner at night. Great information. We'll rewatch again, says DC. Welcome, welcome. Thank you.
Yes, that's Dawn. We've been friends since elementary school.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish my husband was alive to see this video because he was trying to write a book before he passed away. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, maybe it's going to have to be a love project for you. Let's see.
I forgot my coconut water this weekend. Electrolyte. If you do.
Yeah, if that's the thing, you got to do it.
I'm thinking about an ebook. Okay, yeah, we were speaking about ebooks.
Mm-hmm.
The pros and cons of that. Fresh and Fire. Things work if you use them. Y'all had a ball in Georgia. We did. I love palm trees and water.
Me too, Miss T. Yeah, me too. I love tropical.
Right, and the weather. Besides all that wind. But
yeah, I heard everybody talk about, I don't know if I'm going to Texas. It's too hot in Texas. I was like, y'all ain't gonna come see me in Texas. Hey, Lisa.
Oh, about how much would it cost for a publisher? Thank you.
All different prices. So you have to, just do your research. Like there's no set price. I've had people who have charged anywhere from as little as $2,500 up to $12,000, $15,000. It really, that depends. Oh, thank you so much, Linda.
Can you make an ebook and sell it at your own price?
You can, but the thing is just people are already conditioned to only, just like you can write a book and sell it for $150. Is anybody going to pay $150? And so people know that ebooks usually don't cost any more than $2 or $3. So if you try to sell your book, ebook for $10, people just probably won't buy it.
April Mayflowers. Oh yeah, Shawnee handled it well. Yeah, I was just like, well,
yeah, she did. Which is so funny. I just saw the look in her face change because she went from being all like, hey, such and such. Wait a minute.
What's up, Sheer Magic? How you doing? She said you get those SEOs. A lot of people do get those SEOs. And that, to me, it's just saying, okay, so they're checking out my channel. They're helping with my watch.
Sometimes they'll leave comments on my videos, and I'm like, okay, thank you. That's fine.
It don't bother me.
Magic. Yeah, I get them all the time.
Yeah, you gotta think of some things in a positive light. Like, okay, they're over here. They're like, sometimes I get like emails. They're like redoing my thumbnail, so they're getting clips out of my videos. So I'm like, okay, you've been watching my videos and you've been trying to put together this. Thank you for the but thank you for the watch.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't trust it. It's too much. But the only thing they make me mad about is they will leave me instant messages on my business Facebook page. And Facebook kind of ranks you at how quickly you respond to messages. And I don't want to respond to them. So then Facebook will send me a message and say, this person has been waiting 5 days for a response. And so then it takes down my response, how they rank me for responses. But I'm like, I'm not responding to them.
Gotcha. What's up, FR Humphrey? How you doing, beautiful? Dang, that just jumped.
Living out loud. Let me see. She said, I had a teacher tell me when starting out price high, I can always have a sale. What do you think about that? Yeah, you definitely don't want to undercut yourself, and so I always put my prices somewhere from the middle. I do my research in whatever I'm doing, whether it's my coaching, my speaking events, because I realize I know my worth, but I also know that I'm not Oprah, right? And so I just put myself somewhere in the middle. I find out and do my research, like what's the least people are charging for certain stuff and what's the most they're charging for it. And I usually rank myself somewhere in the middle. And that's usually how people shop, right? When we're shopping for things, we don't want the cheapest and we don't want the most expensive. And then you can always adjust your price. And you don't even have to, you can do a sale and see how that price works and make it temporary. And if it's like really great, then you may want to adjust your price overall, but it's definitely something you can work with and just, kind of see what's best for you. Like all of my books, I think are $20.99. That's another tip, y'all. End your stuff in some kind of sense. it always makes people feel like they're getting something cheaper. Make it $20.49, $21.50. When you do that, for some reason, that makes people think it's cheaper. Like people will buy something for $24.99 and say $25 is too much. It's that's just a marketing thing.
I want to welcome in Urban Harvest. Welcome in. F.R. Humphrey says she's almost ready to publish her book. And I like that piece of advice that you gave about, we are not Oprah. Like some people, I had a couple people was like, what did I have out here? An affiliate company. I asked somebody some advice about it. Like sometimes I reach out to Stae Hall as well, like, should I do this? And then they were like, well, you need to ask for this, like $1,000, $5,000. I'm not Oprah Winfrey. Okay. I might be popping over here, but like, I'm trying to get more people to recognize me and stuff like that. Don't aim so high to where people aren't going to want to invest in you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the thing is, you also have to be able to prove yourself a little bit too. And so when I first was doing speaking engagements and trainings or whatever, I wanted to give them a price that I felt like was fair, but maybe not my top price because I'm trying to get my foot in the door. But then I come in and I prove myself. So then when I work with you the next time, I don't have to give you that same price because I've already given you the results. So no, you can always negotiate up, but you want to know your worth and get what you're worth. But you also want to be fair that, like I said, sometimes you have to do some things for free. Sometimes you have to give something away. It doesn't mean that you have to do that all the time, but there's levels to this. There was a time where I would go speak somewhere for free. Now, I don't do hardly anything for free anymore unless I decide to do it, but I paid my dues. And so there's definitely a process because there was a time when I was speaking at everybody's church for a love offering. You know what I mean? And, it didn't matter. Sometimes all I got was a bouquet of flowers, but it got more people talking. So now I can go and charge thousands of dollars to speak to hundreds of people, but I had to pay my dues.
Hopefully that answered your question, Living Out Loud, the podcast, about starting your prices too high. Hopefully that answered your question. Let us know. Someday I'll visit Texas. I have family out there in Baytown. Right, Miss.
And don't be afraid to ask people their budget either. That's something I've learned in business. Don't always feel like you have to be the first one to put a number out there. Ask them what their budget is.
Okay. What's up, LP? How you doing? That's messed up. Wellness with Frugal Mama. Writing a book on how to positively deal with YouTube.
See, and that's a big thing now. Anything you can put out there about content creation and social media.
Okay. Oh yeah, they do have books at $5 and.
You get books at the dollar store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got books at the dollar store. So yeah, they got books everywhere. But that's the thing. You have to I don't know how they end up getting on those shelves. I'm thinking it's just overstock because when Barnes and Nobles, if things don't sell out, that's why I'm just not a big proponent for keeping a lot of inventory, even though I'm getting ready to launch a new part to my business. Of course, y'all know I start a new business every day, but it's going to require me to have inventory, but I'm not really usually big on keeping a lot of inventory.
So we are not way past. We're at 11:06. Almost Homesteading with Janet has all the stuff about people going live on her community tab.
TV guide.
Okay, the TV guide. And then also, I went and got some stuff for y'all, and we're going to be giving it away tomorrow. Souvenirs and some Aunt Dale stuff, some Black's Tropical stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're going to be
doing... You did some shopping in Savannah.
Okay, it was popping. I was thinking about y'all.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm learning so much here. Very, 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 very awesome. Glad to hear that. Anything else that I don't even know what I want to eat. I'm in the mood for pasta. I don't know why. What do you got going on for dinner?
I don't know what I'm going to eat for dinner today. I have to cook something. I haven't even thought about it. Probably some kind of salad.
Okay.
I'm sure when we get off here, I'm going to make my bulletproof coffee and get ready for these coaching clients. But I'll probably do some kind of salad for dinner. I had Chipotle last night. I didn't cook last night. I did Chipotle.
Our refrigerator back. We was gone for so long, so I was like, we're gonna eat what we can while we're here. Then we flew out, and yeah.
Yeah, and I might not cook a lot this week because I haven't gone grocery shopping because I'm going out of town and I don't want stuff going bad. So yeah, I might not do a lot of cooking. And I can't eat that much now. I'm on my little weight loss journey, so I'm getting so full. Like I only took like 3 bites of my Chipotle last night.
You sound like Soul Sister last night. She was eating a little bit there. With me and my daughter. Oh, seafood. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. I had a good crab boil this weekend. Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
I love seafood. Well, I love grilled shrimp. There we go.
I love everything. I love oysters, crab legs, crawfish. You can't miss me with it. Scallops are my favorite.
Thank you, DCBs. She had us try calamari. It wasn't really my favorite. Soul Sister did. I was like, no.
Oh, Wet Willie's has good calamari. Oh, is that where y'all got it? I love their. Shawnee said salad is not cooking, ma'am. That's why I said I'm probably not going to cook. I usually cook every day, but this week has just been kind of weird. Did you get to see the eclipse yesterday?
We did, girl. We driving, and my daughter was like, "Oh yeah, the eclipse. Let's look up there." And we saw it, and then like Sources was like literally almost pulling over, like, here's 3 pairs of glasses. Let's go.
Yes. Oh, it was so good. Oh my gosh.
The salad don't sound bad either. Quesadillas, I think. Okay.
Oh, I'm glad, Karen. I'm so glad that you found it informative. And yeah, reach out to my sister. I taught her everything she knows.
Awesome, Line. Thanks for the good info, Stae and Miss T. You are very welcome, girl. Girl. Yeah. One of my sayings is girl. Okay. So girl.
Me too. I end up saying it to my husband. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Give a shout out to Fresh and Fire Backyard because she's called Fresh for a reason. She was out there popping. She had on her little skinny jeans, her little long sheer shirt.
Girl.
She is fresh. She is.
I love it. She bringing that fire.
Okay. Team Natural. I was like, okay, girl. Thanks. This is very informative. Even the gym.
Yeah, my sister and I have a joint project that we're going to be working on soon too.
The eclipse wasn't in our path, but it did turn dim a little in the Southern Virginia area.
Yeah, it got dark here. I mean, millions of people came to Dallas-Fort Worth to see it. I think we had like the second visibility. I think it was Mexico and then Dallas-Fort Worth. So it was dark here for like 4 minutes.
I've heard of Nom Nom. I've heard of that before. Too funny. Well, yeah, we are caught up, girl.
Good. Well, thank y'all so much. And thank you, Miss T. It's always so much fun joining you. I love your community and thank you for sharing your folks with me and allowing me to share with them. It was great. And y'all, if y'all could go to Amazon and look up Stae Hall and leave me a review on one of my books. They've been out there for years, but I got to practice what I preach because I never ask anybody to leave me reviews. I really, really would appreciate that. And thank y'all for the support that you're showing my sister as well. And let's keep Miss T growing. Where are you at now? Like 5,000?
Girl, almost at 4,500 almost. Like
wow. Well, let's get you to 5,000 by the end of this week, y'all. Share.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, sis. I was ready to turn up. Oh, girl, you was fresh. Okay, now I see why you're called Fresh. And her husband is fine.
Oh, that is funny. That's funny. But that's me and my husband too. Work hard and play hard. We have a good time around here for sure because we always working. So I get it. You have to. It's about that harmony.
I'm laughing. I'm like, look, okay, y'all, we're down to 49. So
that's good though. That is good. I love the engagement. But no, I know you gotta eat, y'all. We gotta let Miss T go. I gotta get ready for this client, so I still gotta make this. But y'all know if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. You can get my contact information from Miss T, or, go to one of my videos. It's always down there in the description box, and I will definitely get back to y'all for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So thank y'all again. And tomorrow we'll be doing some other content creator merch giveaway. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you, Stae Hall, again. And I guess I'm gonna eat a salad now. Make myself feel a little better.
Yeah, that'll be good. Get you some dandelion tea.
Okay, I was about to say I was gonna go to the grocery store and find me some liquid IV.
Yeah. Get your life right.
Hey, take care, everybody. Oh, also be sure to the morning people, the morning live streamers. So Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Rockefeller Records. Almost Home Said It with Janet for tomorrow. I don't know if you want to put it on there tonight or this evening, because they go live before I go live, so nobody catches them on the community tab. But anyways,
I know I caught the tail end of Wellness this morning. Oh, and I just saw her name. Hey, Wellness. She was doing some stretching because it's earlier for me. It's an hour earlier, so I caught the tail end, but then I rewatched it and tried to pay attention. I need to stretch more, but yeah, y'all come on early. But yeah, we need to get them on the day before so people will know.
So he's on at 6 a.m. Eastern, and then Wellness with Frugal Mama is 7 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. There we go. Yeah. So if, like Stae said, it'd probably be better to put them on today so somebody can catch them in the morning before we go live.
Yeah, because that's 6 in the morning for me. So yeah.
Okay, now y'all can go. So peace and love.
So she says I put each day for the next morning is Can't Stop. Oh, okay. Janet's on top of it. She got it.
Yeah, he goes live tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard. Wellness. There you go. So peace and love to y'all, everybody. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good day.